recording. Yeah, yeah. Okay, then I will go on with, yeah, that's it. And let me share my screen now. Okay. I hope you see my screen. I get right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Baku Power BI, Excel, and Innovative Educators Group's 11th session in 2022. And let's go on with our agenda. After introduction session, I will give a little information about our sponsor, so-called Enterprise DNA. And also, I will talk a little bit about the Enterprise DNA winners, the membership for Enterprise DNA winners. And then lovely Pragati Jain will go on with her session, so-called Data Perspective in Power BI. I hope this is the correct topic this time, Pragati. And also we'll have a Q&A session. Okay, Baku Power BI, Excel, and Innovative Innovative Educators Meetup Group is sponsored by Enterprise DNA. Enterprise DNA is an Australian platform where you can find the necessary information about Power Platform products, including Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and also some information about, courses about SQL, SharePoint, R language, and Python. So I strongly recommend you to visit this portal, and you will get the necessary information. And the good news is that this Enterprise DNA is giving on a monthly basis 3 full membership to the attendees of Baku Power BI Meetup Group's sessions. And one good news is related to me. I'm going to deliver a speech on August 3rd about, like a webinar on which is going to be organized by Enterprise DNA. It will be about retail sales cases with Power BI. So I will in next minutes share the link. If you have time or if you are interested, you may attend. I think it will be very interesting. And then I would like to talk a little bit about today's speaker. Today's speaker is Pragati Jain, and I hope she will be giving the necessary information about herself in next minutes. As for our next speaker is Melissa de Korte from Holland. She will be talking about Power Query in the second half of in the first half of August. And so our session is recorded and lively streaming. It's lively streaming on Excel World's Facebook page, and also it will be available on my YouTube channel. So if you have time, you can visit my YouTube channel, and there you will find other session, recorded session of speakers for 2021 and for 2020 years. Roughly, there are 54 videos. Also, I would like to give a little bit information about my data summit. My data summit is organized by me and by my MVP Faraz Sheikh, who is from Saudi Arabia. And this is a 3-day event, which is going to happen on 5th, 6th, 7th September. And we'll have 35 speakers. 3 of them are coming from Microsoft. Really, we have a very good lineup of speakers, and Pragati Jain is also there in this list. I hope it does worth to attend this event, and I strongly believe that I will see you there. Okay, so thank you for attending this session, and I believe that I will see you again on August 12th when Melissa de Korte is going to deliver her speech. So I'm just stopping here, Pragati, so you may share your screen and go on. So stage is yours, right?
Thanks so much,
Okay.
Dildar. I'll just share my screen, so just let me know if you can. see the screen.
Yes, I see your screen. Pragati?
Screen, okay, cool. Okay, so first of all, welcome everyone for taking out time to attend my session today. And today, as Ilgar said, I'll be talking about data perspectives in Power BI. Now, data is kind of like a very big word, right? I mean, everyone has their own views. Like, I just got few quotes in here because I really like them. Like, we are surrounded by data, but starved for insights, right? And data really powers everything that we do. I mean, it could be in any field. And we also know the real truth, like no data is clean, but most of it is useful. So let's today, see how one can start with her data and what different perspectives or what different conclusions one can lend to when they start analyzing data. And the other thing is, guys, I really want this session to be interactive because today this will be more like a less demo session. I mean, it has got more around some use cases and examples based on the experiences I have in the last few years working with Power BI and data. So I really want this to be interactive because I also want to learn from you guys because I'm sure everyone has got different ways of seeing data and interpreting data. So let's learn together something new. So make it interactive. When I'm trying to ask few things, just type it in chat. So we all can just learn together how we can really make most of it, most of this 1 hour. Okay, so before I start the session, a little introduction about me. So those who guys don't know me, my name is Pragati Jain, and I'm a Microsoft Data Platform MVP. I think this is third time on this user group, Ilgar, if I'm right. So I've delivered 2 sessions last year for this user group, and I really like Ilgar is very welcoming every time, like just come and deliver something. So thank you so much, Ilgar, for inviting me again.
Yeah.
And I'm also one of the super user at Microsoft Power BI community. So those who don't know about Microsoft Power BI community, and if you really are keen to start your journey with Power BI, just go and join this forum because Microsoft Power BI community is really the right place to get your, Power BI skills started, because this is the place from where I have learned most of the Power BI by helping people with the queries they post on the forum. Because sometimes when someone asks you a question and when you try to find answer for that question, you learn more, right? So this could just not be better than just helping people there, because you give back to the community as well, and together you also learn from the community. So if you don't if you are not there on the community and want to learn Power BI, just go and join this forum. It's pretty good forum there. Then I've got nearly 10 plus years of industry experience. And then currently I'm working as a senior consultant at Avanade here in London. I'm also organizer at Data Weekender Conference. So the last Data Weekender Conference, which we had, was on 14th May, and we are looking forward for the next one soon. I'm also manager at Microsoft Power BI UK user group. So any of you guys, if you really want to have a platform where you want to say start your speaking journey, or you are already an established speaker but you really want to share your knowledge, then please message me. I mean, you can find me on LinkedIn and Twitter, and reach out to me if you really want a platform to share your knowledge with us. We'll be more than happy and welcome you for a user group. And one fun fact about me is, like, I'm a painter, so I just like to proudly call myself a techie artist. And then the other thing is I have got my own blog, which is datavibe.co.uk. I'm on LinkedIn. So if you want to reach out to me, you can message me on LinkedIn. You can reach out to me on Twitter. As I said, I'm also at Microsoft Power BI community, so you can reach out to me there as well. And then I've got my own YouTube channel as well. Now let's start with something. I mean, let's start with, some questions like, what is data perspective? Now, everyone can have a different view of answering it, right? I mean, obviously it's English, so everyone can interpret it in different way or say things in different way, right? But for me, what data perspective is, it's just about, the way one interprets, analyzes, and represents data. That's what data perspective is for me. So for example, in front of you, you can clearly see a screenshot. It's obviously from Excel. I'm sure many of you guys are Excel experts here in the audience. So you can clearly see, like, this is an Excel data screenshot, and you can see there is data in the tabular format, and there are some numbers going on, some country, region, area code going on, and there are numbers at year level. Now, when I present some data to someone or to the management team, how they take this data in certain format. Like, for example, if I present this exact screenshot or this exact spreadsheet to them, then it will be kind of tricky for them to understand, like, what is this? I mean, what can you tell me with this data? Because this data looks so plain. There are just 5 columns with some information, but I have no clue what insights to derive from it, right? But suppose if we turn this insight into something meaningful, represented in a better way from visual point of view, the moment you do that, your information is highlighted at a different level. Because if you compare the left screenshot where we have just those 5 columns in a spreadsheet, but if you compare the right screenshot where we have visualized this data, the data on this right side in Power BI, which you can see, which is visualized, it's completely visualized based on these 5 columns, guys. So that's why I took that screenshot. Like, just see the difference, how data looks once you start interpreting it in a different way. So interpreting the data, analyzing it, and then representing the data is something that's what a data perspective is from a developer point of view for me. Because once you take some numbers, crunch them, analyze them, transform them, and represent them visually in a tool, then that's what represents your perspective around that data. So it's very important, like the way you represent the data for the other people who are going to be users of your insights or story. So that's what a data perspective from my point of view. And obviously, please write in chat if you don't agree with anything I'm saying here, or if you would like to add anything to it, or something that doesn't feel right. So please, write in the chat. Let's make this session interactive today. Now, when we talk about, data perspective, so how can we really, derive that data perspective? Now, when we work on data, it's very important to understand the data first, then clean it, transform it, and once we have data in the right format, then we should then visualize the data. So for example, it's kind of a cycle. You understand the data first. So when I say understand, it's about trying to understand the key points in the data, what this data is about. And like, for example, if you have got insurance data that you need to analyze, so getting some background information around the insurance field could be really helpful, because once you have that background information, you will be able to understand data, especially the features or the naming conventions in the data, like what this mean, or what is credit card defaulter mean, or like what is overdrawn limit mean, those kind of things, right? So it's always good to do that, low level, kind of investigations and understanding the data exactly. And once you understand the data, you should spend some time in cleaning the data as well. Because obviously, I mean, it is a truth, right? Every data is not useful in the way that has been given to you, right? So you really need to do some kind of cleaning on top of the actual data that's been given to you. Then only you can further, make something out of that data. Because if that data is not clean, or it is like, not in the right shape for you to consume in a tool, say Power BI, to visualize, then that data is of no use, right? So to make the most of the data, it's your responsibility to clean it first. And once the data is clean, it's good to transform it in the right way. Now, when I say transform can relate to many things. Like, for example, there could be some data points in my data where they are just like numeric codes, but I really want to represent them as categories so that, they can be helpful for my further analysis. So those kind of transformations can only be done if you understand and clean the data in the right way. And once that transformation is done and you have the data in the best shape you can ever, then you can start to visualize that data, because ultimately your end goal is, trying to share that story or insight or your perspective around the data with the users or high stakeholders, right? So that's why it is very important or key part of your whole cycle of deriving the insights. Like, first you understand, you clean, you transform, but most importantly, you visualize or present it in the right form. Now let's go to the next thing. Like, okay, so when we talk about data, I mean, there could be 2 aspects of data, right? Now, One is something that someone can call as good data, and the other could be something that someone can call as bad data, right? Now, when we talk about good data, I think for me, good data is something, a very hypothetical thing, right? Because it actually doesn't exist. I mean, until and unless someone has really done a lot of work with the data before giving it to you, so you can generate some story out of it. So for me, like, obviously there are a few elements I always look in good data, like how valid the data is, how complete it is. Is the data really accurate, or is it really relevant to the kind of analysis we are asked to do, or is it consistent? So these are like the 5 key things I really see in a good data. And obviously, if these things are not there, then that